YouTube, welcome back to another video. As you guys can tell by the title below, this is going to be a little different today. We are going to talk about the top 10 things that I wish I knew going into nursing school. I really feel like this video needs to be talked about because, you know, it's the beginning of the year. Some people are just now entering into nursing school and just maybe very optimistic or just have like a whole bunch of questions wondering what they're getting themselves into. Or if you are already in nursing school and you need just a little bit of guidance, we are going to touch base on that as well. I have been in nursing school for about a year now. I only have 1 more year left, so I've been there for a good while. I want to say I'm maybe a junior / senior a little bit. But yeah, I will be finishing this year and I am so happy. Oh my god, y'all, it's been a long way coming. If you guys are new here, my name is Cashmere. Y'all go ahead, click that subscribe button down below. And if you guys are interested in this video, then just keep on watching. We're going to jump right into it. So I do have my notes that I'm going to be looking at. I did jot down all of my points. So I'm just going to be looking on here. The first thing I really wish that I would have known starting into nursing school is to freshen up on all of my basic courses. Now this mainly applies if you're just now starting out into the school, because you basically have to take an entrance exam in order for you to even get put into the program. So in my case, I have not been into school for a while, so math, science, reading, any of those things, they were not in the back of my head. Like the things that I thought I knew, you know what I'm saying, I really didn't know much about. So when I got tested on it, I was really put up to the challenge. And so those were the main things that I really wish I would have focused on prior to getting into the program, because those are the things that you actually need to get past to get into the program. So that is like my number one thing that I really wish that I knew prior to getting it. Second point that I really want to point out is that you do not need to be a healthcare worker once you apply for nursing school. This was a huge struggle for me because I do not have a medical background. I was never a CNA. I was never an MA. I never worked in a hospital prior to the job that I have now. Right now, I am a health dinner coordinator, so my job is more so health administration or clerical. I am not necessarily working with patients. So when I applied to nursing school and I got in and I noticed how everybody was like all like into these fields and just knew what was going on, I had no clue, y'all, and that threw me off completely. And it really shows, honestly, like the further along that you go, that you do not have to be placed into these careers in order for you to be into nursing school. Half the time, the things that you learn in nursing school are like completely different from what a CNA or MA would do. And in a way, it kind of trickles them, because I have CNA friends and I have MA friends as well. And they often find the same struggles, thinking that what they see in their role is actually what they have to apply while you're in nursing. And it's not the case. Those are two completely different lines of work. So it will kind of throw you off when you are in nursing school to kind of like think that you have things are going in a certain way, and it's not really the case. So you really do not need to be placed in healthcare, period. If you're planning on going to nursing school, you could just start out and just, you know what I'm saying, just go as you're going, because you're going to learn everything that you need to know in school anyway. Okay, my third point, y'all, and I really I feel like everybody who's in school right now can understand this, but prepare to teach yourself. I'm definitely not saying this to be rude to anyone who's a teacher. However, there are points that I am noticing that I have to really apply myself to make myself understand what I am being taught. Now, most teachers that I have had, I've had teachers who, you know, just reads off the slide, and they really, not saying that they don't care what they're teaching me, but I don't really feel like they are giving me the information or all of the information that I need. So I often have to literally sit down and teach myself the things that I feel like is most important to learn, because at the end of the day, you are the one who is in charge of your own education. These people could point out, you know, the things that you need to know, but it's up to you to really know and understand those things, because at the end of the day, you're the one who's going to get tested and you're the one that's going to get graded. So if you feel as though the lack in teaching is being there, you need to do and put your foot forth to teach yourself to the fullest, and do not be a victim to it, because you will be the one at fault and you will be the one who will suffer, no one else. So please be prepared. Like, please prepare to teach yourself all that you need to know, okay? So this brings me to my fourth point. My fourth point that I feel that you need to really know once you enter into nursing school is to be open. This, I really want to say that I have learned, or I have really developed this in my recent semester. My first 2 semesters, I believe I was open, but like I wasn't at the same time. And I'm really saying this to say, you don't know everything, okay? Like when you're in school, it's not like you already know everything. You need to be open to learn. You should be open to learn. You need to retain all the information as possible. Not only do you need to be open to learn your studies, but you also need to be open to making friends. You do come across people while you are in nursing school, and sometimes they can be the mean girls, because they definitely do exist. However, when you do make friends and you are open to others around you, you are able to develop study habits with them. You are able to, study together. Y'all are able to ask questions together. Like, it just makes school so much easier, I feel like. Like, I've noticed a huge change this semester. The moment I became open versus my previous ones. Like, the friends that I had made this semester, honestly, I am so grateful for them. Like, they helped me get through this semester like it was not nothing. And if y'all watch my previous videos, I was like struggling so bad, crying basically almost. And my friends is honestly the ones that kind of helped me get to where I needed to go. And that is like so important, because you need people to help build yourself up. Like, it's okay for you to have your own self, but you also need support around you. And having friends like that in nursing school, they're going through the same struggle with you. They understand everything that you're going through. It's different from like if you're talking to like your family or your friends or everything like outside of school. That's completely different, because they only understand so much. But when you have friends that's in the actual field with you and who understands exactly what you're talking about, understand exactly what you're going through, that just makes everything just so much more heartfelt and just worthwhile. So being open is like top tier bullet point that I wish I would have known starting out. My fifth point that I am never letting go of, and that I love so much, like I am never ever letting go of this now that I have discovered it, is using your resources other than school. Now this goes all through the internet for me, okay? YouTube is like my best friend, and I know y'all heard this from other nurses or other nursing students as well. YouTube is like my number one best friend when it comes to school, okay? There are so many resources that's out there on the internet, all on social media, who are already in the field and who is looking to help students out, because they also understand what you're going through. For me, the ones that I prefer, I go on Nurse Sarah. I also go on simplynursing.com, and they basically break down everything that I learned in school. They break that down in such the simplest form so that I am able to retain the information. And it's always accessible for you. It's always, there whenever you need it. You don't have to wait to talk to your teacher, ask your teacher whatever question. Like, all that information is there at your hands and at your palms. YouTube became my best friend in nursing school. Okay, it helps me all the way through. Not only that, but I look on TikTok. TikTok is also my go-to, because they give off hands-on demonstrations, and that goes for clinicals. Once you're placed in clinicals, you will learn a lot of skills that you need to retain. And on TikTok, there are like nurses and teachers all over who shows how to do, certain things, certain procedures, certain wound cares, catheter changes, all of those good things, okay? Like, TikTok became my best friend, and I don't even have like a certain page that I go on, because there's so many out there, y'all. All I do literally is search up nursing videos, and so much stuff pop up for me. So many resources out there. You know, it's so much to get your hands on. So seeking other resources other than school was like the game changer for me academically, like the game changer. So that is definitely one that I wish I would have known prior to starting, because I just feel like it would have just been so much of an easier ride. My 6 points, and when I say this, I mean this in the strongest way possible. Your attendance is everything, okay? Once you are placed into nursing school and you eventually get into your clinicals, you will learn that you have to be punctual. I currently have clinicals that literally start at 6:30 a.m. Not 6:32, not 6:37, okay? I have to be there, present, dressed, everything on at 6:30 a.m. Okay, in my school, I'm not sure if it's everyone is the same, but at my school, you are only able to be late maybe twice out of the semester, and if you're late past that or absent past that, you are kicked out of the entire program. So they put these rules in place honestly because that is exactly how the real world is. By me working at a hospital, I am able to see just how the nurses operate, and being punctual is like top tier in your actual career. So in a way, they do these things to kind of like prep you for your career, but just keeping in mind early that attendance is everything. You need to make sure that you are always punctual, because you never want to jeopardize your schooling, or you never want to jeopardize your goal or compromise your career for nothing. Okay, my 7th point that I have is time management. Now, I know there's a huge thing that goes around and a huge myth that goes around to everybody whenever someone thinks about starting nursing school or anything like that. You're always being told you cannot have a life once you start school, or you cannot do this once you're in nursing school. That is such a huge myth. Okay, I still do what I want to do. I still move how I want to move, and I have a child. Okay, you are able to still do what it is that you need to do. The main key for everything is just make sure that you are handling your business in a timely manner. Okay, which means make time to study. Make time to do your homework. Make time for all of the priorities that you need to handle for your schooling. And then also making time for yourself. You still have to have time to unwind. You still need to keep up with yourself, to keep yourself leveled. You don't want to find yourself overwhelmed and drowning in all of your book stuff because you know like this is what you really want. Like, you still have to make time for yourself. So if you have time management and you have great time management skills, hold on to that, okay? And if you do not, please develop it, because you will find yourself going through a hole. And when I tell you stress is real in nursing school, like the stress is so real, you need to keep a balance within yourself. So time management is like a huge key. My 8th point, I swear I wish I knew this. This was like my main problem all last semester. My 8th point that I have is learning how to think critically. Okay? When I say critical thinking, this seems so simple and so easy. However, to some, it's just not. Okay? And this isn't something that you will learn right off bat. Like, it takes a while for you to develop the skill. Once you begin getting into your nursing classes, and I mean like your fundamentals and your med-surg and all of this other stuff, once you begin getting into your nursing courses, you are going to notice that your studies looks completely different. Okay, like everything is going to be so different. Your exams are going to be different. Everything is going to be so different, and this is solely to prep you for what you have coming next. And what I mean it's going to be looking different is when you were having just your regular studies, you know, you were studying your math, your science, you were studying your reading, all of these things were all fact-based questions. And I mean, like, it'll be questions you will see like, what does this mean? Or what is the definition of this? And all of this other stuff. But when you're in nursing school or when you're in your nursing classes, those questions become scenarios. So it will be questions like, so-and-so is now admitted to the hospital. What is your priority? What is your first step? Like these type of questions. And the thing about those is the answers will give you all correct answers. It is your job to choose the best one. And also, the things that you are being taught in school, you are not being taught to know it. You are being taught to understand it. Meaning that when someone is teaching you something, you need to know the reasons why you're learning these things. You need to have the rationales as to why. The rationales is what's going to help you to answer these type of questions. Because once you look at the scenario, you'll be able to understand and say, hey, okay, the reason why I'm doing this is because this patient is going through whatever. You know, all of these is to prep you for your NCLEX to get your state board. And so they are going to give you NCLEX questions, and you basically just have to know how to analyze and how to critical think to be able to answer those things. So that is like one of my main points, and I am still learning how to do it. Okay, like I'm still learning how to do it. Which brings me to my 9th point. This is for really everybody who works in a clinical setting, which if you're working at a hospital or if you work at a nursing home or a long-term care facility, this bullet point is like really key for them. But is my 9th bullet point. You learn from the book and not what you see. Often in a book it has delegations, and your nursing roles are very, very specific. Okay, certain things only a nurse can do, certain things only a CNA can do, and certain things only an MA can do, and so on and so forth. You have to know your guideline within reach. Okay, you have to know what is your actual role and what are you capable of doing, to know that when you sometimes see these things that happens on the actual floor, oftentimes some things aren't delegated for that person. Let's just say, and I'm just throwing anything out there, but if you ever worked at a hospital and you've seen a CNA insert a catheter, you should know that a CNA isn't really supposed to do that. But because you've seen that, you would think that it is. So you have to really put in perspective that you have to learn from the book. You have to know exactly your role to know what is your job and what isn't. Because oftentimes those type of questions come up in your exams and also in your NCLEX as well. You have to know what can you delegate and what you can't. And my last point, my 10th point that I have is school is meant to break you, okay? Understand this. Nursing school is one of the toughest things to ever go into, okay? It is one of the toughest things to ever study. You have to be very, very, very prepared for everything that is thrown at you. And make sure you take everything head on, because it is so easy to just throw in the towel, because you become so overwhelmed and so stressed about everything that is going on. You know, it's so easy, but you do not want to fall victim to it. Everybody can go into nursing school, but not everybody can make it out. And it is definitely something that is completely doable. Okay, you want to be able to get through it. But it's so easy to kind of like get thrown off track, but you just want to make sure you stay on task and know that you cannot fall victim to the system. To stay grounded, and please be patient. Our time is coming, okay? Like, we are going to get that RN license behind our name, okay? Stay grounded. Do not give up. Do not give up on yourself. Don't get overwhelmed. Don't get stressed. Just stay grounded. We got this. We are going to enter this semester with good vibes only, okay? Because when we enter with good vibes, we leave with good vibes, okay? Be optimistic. Please be open-minded. Be ready to learn, willing to learn, you know, and just keep it going, okay? Because these people out here need it. Y'all know there's a huge nursing shortage out here, and, you know, as much of a desperate need we are in, they make it so hard for you to obtain what it is that you need. Like, this past semester, I really found myself, like, just ready to just throw in the towel, because the things that was just being thrown at me, I just was not ready for. And I just was feeling like, okay, like, am I even made for this? Like, because I'm just not getting, like, why am I constantly being like, you know what I'm saying, just being thrown at, and like, you know what I'm saying, like, y'all need us, like, just give us our stuff. But it doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? You really do have to obtain all the information that you need, just because you are working with humans, you are working with people, and you want to be the best nurse that you can be. So I mean, school is definitely going to break you when it comes to that. You know, you have to be on your A game at all times. And even though it's well understood, it's just like sometimes you just get to that point and you just be like, okay, no, like, I just can't do this. But it is okay. It's okay to not know everything. It is okay to seek help. It is okay to want to be able to get the best that you can get. So y'all, so this wraps up my video. I definitely told you guys everything that I wish I knew prior to starting nursing school. If I could think of anything else, I would definitely pin them down below in the comments, so that way everybody can be able to see it. Also, I will be filming my days in the life of a nursing student now that I'm starting my new clinical this week. So I will be putting them down in my TikToks below, so go click that link down there, because my TikToks do be popping, okay? If y'all want to just keep up with these videos, let me know in the comments. Let me know if y'all want more nursing videos or anything like that. If y'all would need me to touch bases on anything, I will be more than happy to, you know. But that's all that I have for today. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button down below, and we'll be back with another video.